And we think that we can rule this world, not understanding the operations of the spirit realm. It's a joke. Nobody can rule in life who doesn't understand the operations of the spirit realm. We don't understand government. We don't understand how that the earth realm is ruled by spirits. It's governed by spirits. And every activity that we see, everything we see happening on the earth is happening by the influences of different spirits. The average Christians think that things just happen. Things are just moving. Government are taking decisions. Coronavirus just came. Something just happened. We are jokers. A lot of Christians are jokers because we have not been taught. Listen, the season we are entering into is a season of spirituality. It's a season where only people who are spiritual and understand spirituality and interpret life from the angle of spirituality can rule. It's not about doctrine. It's not about teaching doctrines in the churches. That's what we are fond of doing. We just come, we preach about doctrines, we move around. Meanwhile, the guy doesn't know that there are more spirits on earth than there are human beings. And that everything that we seek to do, there are spirits that are influencing everything men are doing. Adam just didn't sin. Are we here? And Adam just didn't refuse to sin. At the time that he was not doing what was wrong, there was an influence he was under. He was under a government. At the time that he began to go against the order, the protocols of God, he had come under another influence. Satan has colonized him. And it is the force of Satan that moved Adam against God. Because when a spirit speaks, he does not speak words. He speaks energy. He releases energy. So when Satan speaks, most of the things you see people do wrong, a spirit just whispered into their soul. He just said, insult him. And there was an energy that entered the soul of the gentleman or the lady. And then insult began to come. A spirit can just say, slap him. What he's saying is not just a word, it's a force that has the ability to control your action, control your thought, determine your thought pattern. Listen, if we are not taught these things, if you don't understand these things, we will be destroyed. We will be puppets in the hands of spirits. These are governing bodies that are ruling the earth. The earth is not ruled by men. The earth is not governed by men. Forget about the physical government that we see. I've talked to us many times about the prince of Persia that ruled the Persian kingdom, about the prince of Grecia, the Grecian kingdom that ruled the Grecian kingdom. Meanwhile, there was Darius. Meanwhile, there was Alexander the Great for the two kingdoms respectively. But they were not the ones who were determining what was happening on earth. There were different powers in the heavens determining what was happening on the earth. We need to be reoriented as believers. Listen, everything happening on the earth is under the influence and control of spirit, of different spirits. Everything happening in the land that you live in the city you live in, the kind of immorality that is going on, it's not just men who are acting. Men have been enslaved by all kinds of spirits. Because what spirits are interested in is the enslaving of humanity. Just like God was interested in. Then why do you think he called Jesus Lord? He's a spirit. Why did you call him Lord? Because he wants to be Lord over you. It's the same way. What spirits are interested in is to be Lord over you. Is to enslave you. To do their bidding. To assess your soul and to alter your soul structure. To put you in all kinds of bondages. Addiction is a bondage. Masturbation is a bondage. Don't tell me you are free in Christ. You are a masturbator. You don't know the spirit that you are interacting with. If you know that at that time that the energy became strong and you began to masturbate, if you knew the spirit that was standing there with you, awaiting to receive the sperm that you are releasing, to covenant you forever, to enslave you forever, you would have stopped saying, I'm free in Christ. Meanwhile, you are a masturbator. You would have sought for deliverance and you would have sought for liberty. It's not a quotation we quote. You are bound by immorality as a man of God and you think it's about forgiveness of sin. You don't know what is going on. If you understand the mystery of iniquity, I'll teach about the mystery of iniquity. And you know how that the enemy has led us to a trading floor. And many transactions are taking place and our lives are being bargained on a daily basis. And we think that we just did something wrong. We came to ask for forgiveness. Adam did something wrong. He couldn't ask for forgiveness. You ask for forgiveness, the land is still lost. Your domain is lost. Listen, let me say this. Our lands are being governed by spirits that we don't even know their names. There are so many spirits on the earth. Where are they? They are on our land. They are influencing things on the land. The territory that you live in is under the dominion of a principality. And you don't even know. So you come into that land, you think you can become what you want to become. There's a pattern that has already been set. Why do you think that in a particular locality, everybody is like this? Nobody can ride. All the ladies get pregnant. All the boys become weed smokers. But what do you think is going on? It's a government. You can't overcome it by natural intelligence, not by advice and counsel. You are dealing with principalities and powers. We are dealing with the rulers of the darkness of this world. There are powers that are called rulers, not the men. Akufo-Addo is not the one ruling Ghana. There's a principality that is ruling Ghana. Akufo-Addo is just a toy in the hands of that principality. If you have to put it that way. How do you think? You think you can vote anyone to power? If that person doesn't know how to litigate like Daniel, how to intercede like Daniel, you will still be a slave in that principality. And anyone who will try to go against the dictate of that principality, you will die before your time. It's a system that has been set in place. Everybody came to meet it, and everybody will follow that order. Only through Christ. And it's not by being born again alone. There are protocols that must be engaged. There are encounters that must be experienced before freedom can be established in the life of the believer. You are living in a land that is controlled by different spirits. Don't you see their manifestation? Don't you see morality? Why do you think everybody is a Christian, but everybody is manifesting darkness? It's an energy. You cannot just overcome it because you are born again. I cannot just overcome because I'm just born again. What I'm saying, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking because I read it from anywhere. I'm not read it from anywhere. But I think I'm teaching it. I have been taught by the Spirit. Yes, you might have heard people, might have read some few things, but I'm telling you that we've gone through things. We have encountered Spirit, and there are things that we have experienced that makes us to understand and to teach these things the way we do. It is not head knowledge. We have not learned it from somewhere. We have confronted the powers. We have seen them. We have engaged them in different battles. And we know what we are talking about. You can choose to be ignorant about this. Anyway, let me just calm down and look at something for now. Ho sabrantes, cobrantes. Jahos.